So King Emmanuel's mission continues.
The mission!
Mission of the King, yeah.
The mission.
The mission of the King is the humble fed with the flow, the nourish, the mission, free water, the King, you know.
The mission. The mission. The mission.
We do give thanks to life, health and strength. Give thanks for freedom. Freedom of opinion and freedom of expression. Give thanks to know that all human beings are born free and equal in dignity and rights. They are endowed with reason and conscience and should act towards one another in a spirit of brotherhood. We do give thanks to the Universal Declaration of Human Rights. We do give thanks to the founders of right. We do give thanks to the keepers of life, the keepers of right. You know, human rights is for one and all. From the man on the sidewalk, to the man pushing the cart, to the vendor who is selling in the market, to the teacher, to the doctor, to the nurse, to the lawyer, to the president, to the governor, to the king, to the queen. All human beings are born free and equal. We do give thanks to the moments that is going through the ends of the earth at this time. We're definitely still in the celebration moments of when our Divine Majesty Emperor Haile Selassie on his world tour visited the shores of Jamaica. We do give thanks to such glorious presence of the 225th descendant from the union of King Solomon and Queen of Sheba. We do give thanks for such glorious occasion. It was joy unspeakable. Many speak of when the rain was falling and then the sun came out and everyone was dry. And they saw the 7 doves coming out of the cloud before they saw the aeroplane, the Ethiopian Airlines. For he did ride upon the wings of the wind. Upon the cherub he did fly, and he came down, and darkness was under his feet. So we do give thanks definitely greatly for such moments. Never in history Jamaica has ever seen anything like this. We do give thanks definitely knowing that that was 5 years after the visitation of the delegation that went on the movements, the Rastafari movement that went into the continent of Africa and visited 5 states. Ethiopia was one. It was the 21st of April 1961 when the delegates met our Divine Majesty Emperor Haile Selassie. He remembered he told them specifically that Ethiopia is open to the West, but tell Jamaica next time to send the right people. Next time to send the right people. It was stated wherein another delegation went in 1964 and the right person never come, the right people never come. The emperor himself who is the crown champion of human rights, because remember, this is the emperor who addressed the League of Nations in 1936. The emperor who addressed the United Nations. So 36 to 37 the year he addressed the League of Nations, 1960 and 3 again. the United Nations, until the philosophy which all one race superior and another inferior is finally and permanently discredited and abandoned. We do give thanks, definitely, knowing that this man visited the shores of Jamaica, a speaker of truth, a man of right, who's in his endeavor in all his developments is to free the minds and hearts of the people, to see that the people are in better conditions wherever he visited. Remember, in March 1966, Queen Elizabeth II did come to Jamaica on her state visit, and she told Jamaica that they violated human rights and they must go to United Nations and have it rectified. She even told them again, hurry up, hurry up, hurry up. 3 times she said it, because she want America, Canada and New Zealand to come down in Jamaica and do her business. She came because the champion of human rights was also coming. The 21st of April, which is her birthday. She might be celebrated in March, but that is her birthday, the 21st. O daughter of Babylon, who are to be destroyed. In 1967, the first United Nations seminar was held there at Myrtle Bank Hotel in Jamaica, where they tried to stop the Most Right Honourable King Emmanuel Charles Edwards from entering the same man that made the emperor in 1966 a speaker of truth. Because why? When the emperor came, they knew again that they have violated human rights, and they remembered the word of the Queen. So definitely human rights had to be started in the country, and we're going to get in those fundamental rights. This mission we're on right now is the voice of the people, the voice of God. Knowing that the significant moments is really something to look into, because remember, in 1966, Emperor came to Jamaica. It was the JLP government that was in power. Donald Sangster was acting Prime Minister, because you know that Bustamante was going through his affliction. The same affliction that Honourable Marcus Mosiah Garvey told him, there's a great leader going to come in the country and he's not going to be able to see him. So we all know that Bustamante did not have a 20/20 vision when the Emperor came. He was partially blind, going totally blind. It is after the meeting of Emperor Haile Selassie in 1966, the Most Right Honourable King Emmanuel Charles Edwards established his communications with the United Nations. It was in that era, 60s coming up to the 70s, where the United Nations declared him as the crown champion of human rights. It was in that same era wherein the United Nations told them to bring up this individual man in determination of its rights and obligations. It is in the same era that they burned down his camp at 54B Spanish Town Road, Key Walk, Aki Walk, right down there in West Kingston, by the then JLP government with a Prime Minister, acting Prime Minister, who is Donald Sangster. It was upon the 50th anniversary, 2016, that His Majesty Ermias Salis Selassie visited Jamaica. The 50th anniversary. So 1966 going into 1970, didn't even reach 1970, they burned down the Most Right Honourable King Emmanuel Charles Edwards camp. 2016, before we reached 2020, it was the JLP government again in power. And because of the total denial of Freedom Redemption International repatriation, because of the indoctrination of the youths, not knowing who their true leaders are, not knowing who represents them and who is there for them, through ignorance, because of taking up the so-called badness that is upon the Jamaican youths, those who they call Jamaicans, under the rulership of the Jamaica Labour Party again. They did enter the foundation of the Most Right Honourable King Emmanuel Charles Edwards, 10 miles out of the bloody city, as prophesied by Marcus Mosiah Garvey. And this time, they burned down his office that had the legitimate documents of repatriation. Totally burning down, just as they entered into Jerusalem and burned the Bibles. These holy leaflets, pamphlets. The office of the general, who is upon the mission of freedom, redemption, repatriation, the mission of the king, the ambassador to Emperor Haile Selassie I, who the queen gave authority to the Jamaica police to make sure that they show respect to the red, gold and green, the red, black and green, with the United Nations flag in the midst as international security. It was in again this Jamaica government, Jamaica Labour Party ruling, where there was a prime minister now that resembles Donald Sangster, meaning Andrew Holness, is in power. And it was in his government, because of their neglect to fundamental freedom, redemption, international repatriation, because of the sufferation that they have the youth under, to let them turn to crime and to stealing and to drugs, because of their indoctrination that they have inoculated the youths of Jamaica with. It is because of their movements why the office of the Most Right Honourable King Emmanuel Charles Edwards was burned down. Because the Most Right Honourable King Emmanuel Charles Edwards states they have pushed him in the back bush where the thieves and murderers are. They took him from front page, 54B Spanish Town Road. And there, now, they push him in the back bush. But out of Zion the Lord shall roar and utter his voice from Jerusalem. So this mission of Emperor Haile Selassie is serious mission. And every time this date comes around, we must remember that there were documents that were left with the Jamaica government to be handed over to the Most Right Honourable King Emmanuel Charles Edwards, who is the authorized ambassador to Emperor Haile Selassie's mission of freedom, redemption and international repatriation. The principles and aims and objectives of the Ethiopia Africa Black International Congress stands within a right. Anyone that is not in a right is not a member of the Congress. The Congress stands upon firm principles, aims and objectives. At this time, the voice of the people is the voice of God. Young man and young woman, I call upon you because you are strong. Elders, you know me who is of old, said the Ancient of Days. Elders, you know the way. So we are now entering into the lion's den. Dare to be a Daniel, dare to stand alone, dare to have a purpose firm, dare to make it known. Many mighty men am lost. Black people, know yourself. Mission of the King, episode 4. The conquering lion shall break every chain. Ethiopia Royal Nation Wealth Kingdom. Ethiopia Poor People National International Freedom League Government. Melchizedek Righteous Kingdom Black Supremacy Government for the Poor and Have-Nots. United Black Wealth Sovereign Nation. Lord of Hosts, I am the I am. Repatriation internationally. The Fifth Kingdom of Justice stands for equality and justice for all people. Ethiopia Africa Black International Congress Church of Salvation. The Sabbath to be kept holy. Freedom, redemption, international repatriation. the Poor People Government internationally through human rights, Black Congress, King of Salem. The people above all kingdoms stand governmental, parliamental, churchical, and sabbatical. Formerly at 54B Spanish Town Road, headquarters at 10 miles, Bull Bay, P.O., St. Andrew, Jamaica. November 14, 1984. Now remember, the previous document, Violation Act 1984, was on the 1st of October 1984. So we are now over 1 month now. 1 month now. And there's another document from the Most Right Honourable King Emmanuel Charles Edwards.
Revive thy works, O Lord.
Yeah, wonderful hymn, you know. To bring it again from the top. Give thanks. And we enter again. Black Nationwide Freedom Pamphlet. Freedom Redemption International Repatriation for all slave children. All captives to be set free. All prison doors to fly open. Calling upon the house of Israelites, black people in the Western world, small islands, and Jamaica universally, to open their eyes to behold what is standing before them now. Why I'm calling upon the house of Israelite, royal Ethiopians, sons and daughters, gods and goddesses in the Western world and small islands of Ethiopia, is because we learn by the voice of the Right Honourable Marcus Mosiah Garvey that America is coming in this country. And the time is now. No one is to pay them any mind or watch their dollar, because it will be for a short time they will have down here. This is the time for us to have love and know ourselves and find the God in ourselves. We must see God out of our own eyeglass and spectacles to take care of ourselves and stop watching the next man and ponder like what is going on in the world now through colonialism and imperialism and X take you away from your God, the black supremacy God. That is your own self. Yes. So I call upon my brothers and sisters now who are in this deep limitation to release yourself from out of the dark world and teaching. Get back in yourself. Your black culture of truth. Find back your own God through your own spectacles in flesh and blood and condemn X. When X is condemned, the whole world is condemned, for the world is wrong. This is true, for Christ speaks it. The love of Christ is the love of his people. We are his people. For he said this, sons and daughters, Give me thine heart, and I will give you my Father's ever living kingdom. Remember all these words of Christ. Behold, I come quickly. Hold fast until I come. Remember the promise. Love one another and throw away X. Christ teaches us to love one another. He never say when you are dead, but when you are living. For he is not a God of the dead, but a God of the living. Most High, Selassie I, Jah Rastafari. Again, you must remember Honourable Marcus Garvey words, who was reincarnated in St. Anne's. Remember Israelites, black people, that he showed us these rights. And he left us to fulfill them. He said black people will never know themselves until their back is against the wall. No, your bottom is gone through the wall, which means shackles will catch your feet again. Black people, do you hate your God so much? Honourable Marcus Garvey never taught us to hate ourselves. But to own our God of black Ethiopia, Africa. The white world teach us in school that Jerusalem is in the sky. But we give thanks to know that Jerusalem is in Ethiopia. Anywhere Jerusalem is where you find heaven. If you go to Jerusalem, you'll find King David's hotel. Drop X and come to R. X will drop out your belly. Remember your little ones. Remember your little ones, your sons and daughters that you have in college. They have them and yourself sold out to the white world. Therefore, see what you see and run away from it. Run away from X. And hold to R. For R is what you received in school for right. R is the known kingdom of peace and love. But X is the unknown kingdom of 6'6", from which you can never return. We are a nation with people, for we are a nation with wealth. Psalms 2 and 83 which show us how the heathen did say, come, let us cut them off from being a nation by breaking their bands asunder and casting away their cords from us. But let us bring back ourselves as a nation of people through R, in love and righteousness of salvation. At this time, the base of the earth shall confound the wise and prudent. The base of the world is God. We call upon our brothers and sisters in Jamaica to unite under our banners of the red, gold, and green, red, black, and green, with the black 5-point star, the R symbol, and lion crowned symbol, respectively. The prophet said one would come after him The latchet of his sandals he is not worthy to unloose. He said black people should see and know and love themselves. So brotherly and sisterly love should abide through the voice of the Honourable Prophet Marcus Mosiah Garvey. The black era, the black Ethiopian, black African, black Ghana, black Nigeria. He told them that he represents 80 million Ethiopians and their freedom, redemption, and international repatriation. King George asks the Honourable Marcus Mosiah Garvey, where will they get soldiers? The prophet said, you, King George, is training them. King George asks, where will they get guns? The prophet said, you, King George, have them. King George asks, where will they get battleships? The prophet said, you, King George, have them. King George said, where will they get water? The prophet said, the sea. And if there is no sea, we shall sail in the blood of the white men. The prophet came back to Jamaica and said that all the war men are down here now, and Swallow Field will be the bloody battlefield. He said they will want to take away the weapons from the soldiers and not pay them. But the soldiers must hold on to their weapons. Queen Elizabeth II in 1966 also said that. Queen Elizabeth in 1966 said that the soldiers and police should respect the emblems of the red, gold, and green. The red, black, and green, with the black 5-point star, R symbol, and lion coronet symbol, respectively. And defend them wherever they see them. These are the emblems of black people from creation birth. Black people, where are you going? Where will you spend your eternity? Where will you spend your long eternity? There are two ex-governments in this country. Which one of them is right? None. One is the frying pan and the other is the fire. You jump out of the frying pan, you jump in the fire. You then jump back from out of the fire and jump in the frying pan, and both of them burn you. X is wrong from school days. What will happen to your children? Will you make the white men drop out your belly? And will you make the white men drop out their belly? You have given away a continent for an island which is not yours. This is the Arawak Indian land through prophecy and history. Remember, their coat of arms is on everything. You are not an alligator. You are a lion. Let them give you back your shilling with the lion on it. The sower man laid for the reaper man passed through already. There is no food to eat. What I tell you as a right, you make the politicians and the parsons tell you it is wrong. Open your mouth and speak for yourselves. Freedom of speech, freedom of expression. Article 1 must be released. Article 1 must be recognized. Call upon the government call upon your government to send you home to Black Ethiopia, Black Africa. Black Mount Zion. For they cannot feed you. The Honourable Prophet say that the time will come when they'll poison the food, the sweetie, and the cigarettes, and everything. The time is now. The politicians will do it. Now is the time for you to take care of yourself. Now is the time for you to tie your belly. Calling upon black women to tie their belly and weep for their children. Under Jeremiah 9, 80 million careless Ethiopians shall go down with Babylon through bellyful and licky. Cast down society and X. This is the last judgment. I have sent this lesson for you to prove that you are walking in the wrong. To the teachings of the pastors and politicians. The pastor and the bishop are preaching a lie. If you want to preach truth, they must come on the road and preach that God is a man in flesh, like how they are in flesh. Anytime the pastor or the bishop can die and go to heaven, and then send a telegram to their wives saying, how is everything in heaven? Or what street to take to heaven? Then they are in business. Failure to do so means that they are preaching an antichrist doctrine, antichrist philosophy that will lead you nowhere, saying that you have to die to see a God. Remember 1 John chapter 4. Whosoever that confesseth that Christ is come in the flesh is of God. Who confesseth that Christ does not come in the flesh is an antichrist, and now is already in the world. Call upon the members of the church, you call upon the pastor and the bishop to give you a clearance of how you will see God when you die, or what street to take when you die, so that you will not lose your way. The last pope that died said that this philosophy is vain and cannot help anyone. And the people are to find back God in flesh. Calling for 7, 9 or 13 miles of Black Star Liner high water ships to come from all head of government, starting from Jamaica to Ethiopia. Also head of state Queen Elizabeth II to fulfill her words of 1966 at King's House. Also, the head of the UN and the OAU to send ships to receive their subjects out of the West, 4 wings. All these rights are to be fulfilled through the Universal Declaration of Human Rights, articles from 1 through to 15 to 19 to 30. Open the doors of Article 1 to bring forth a fundamental freedom to the world of people. Take the head of the horse from out of the shaft, so that the cart of human justice can be set into motion. Release Article 1 to the world of people now, for it is the door of freedom, redemption, and international repatriation. Every point of right should be fulfilled. To fulfill the 1st of August 1984 Emancipation Day unto the 6th of August, to bring forth a true independence for the poor and needy and have-nots. Black people universally. The voice of the Honourable Prophet Marcus Garvey speaks it. The voice of the Black Supremacy King of Zion, Emperor Haile Selassie, speaks it. I, the Right Honourable Prince Emmanuel Charles Edwards, the Black Christ in flesh, speaks it. It must be done now. Earthquake, lightning, and thunder in diverse places to see it done. Say the Most High, Holy Emmanuel I, Selassie I, Jah, Rastafari, give thanks to life. This is not the time to see away with Christ and give you Caesar and Barabbas. For Caesar and Barabbas are gone down. Hold the Black Christ in flesh, the Lamb. From your Black Ethiopian, hold the Black Christ in flesh, the Lamb in flesh. You are the Black Christ. You are the Lamb also. Repeat. This is not the time to say away with Christ and give you Caesar and Barabbas. For Caesar and Barabbas are gone down. Hold the Black Christ in flesh, the Lamb, for you are the black Christ, and the Lamb also. Beware of those government houses you are living into and cannot finish paying for. Beware of those government houses you are living into and cannot finish paying for. For they will take them away from you. In 1980 to 81, the Queen told the Prime Minister of Jamaica to turn the country into sports. This will lead you into slavery. The time you take to set up group to destroy the innocent, you would ask the Prime Minister, what will he do to you? It is the same way they make you fight against Christ. Christ said to love your enemies as yourselves. Black people, you have a government for yourselves, not of X but of R. Therefore Christ said, arise and let us go hence to black Ethiopia, black Africa. The politicians want to destroy you, for they give you a bullet to eat. Remember Mission of the King? Episode 2. Jamaica Prime Minister tells people to eat the bullet. Continue on reading. From the Mission of the King, episode 4. The voice of the people, the voice of God, the freedom pamphlet. Continue on reading. Black Secretary General speaks. Peace and love to righteousness of salvation. Salvation will bring us back as a people. Love and all laws and prophet commandments on Christ the solid rock we stand. All other grounds is sinking sand. One Father for us all, the God of the Jews, the God of love. Righteousness exalts a nation, but sin bringeth any people to a reproach. Righteousness shall cover the earth like water cover the sea. Therefore, Israelites, black people, love the police and the soldier, for they are who they pay to destroy you all. Repeat. Therefore, Israelites, black people, love the police and soldiers, for they are who they pay to destroy you all. Return to love and unity like in 1938, before politics came in this country. We are the black Jews and Israelites from birth to this day. Say the true divine God of love, the true divine God of righteousness, of salvation, peace and love, not what the world giveth, but what I, Jesus of Nazareth, giveth. The voice of the people is the voice of the Almighty, eternal power. United we stand and divided we fall. United we stand and divided we fall. Therefore, holding on to the politician will befall you, but holding on to the salvation of the black Christ will unite and save you. For salvation is God. Father Moses is here now.
Afterwards presented gold medallions to the Rastafarians.
With his commandment of salvation.
The Emperor afterwards presented gold medallions to the Rastafarians.
Father Moses is here.
Gold medallions to the Rastafarians.
The same man.
The Emperor afterwards presented gold medallions
from before.
The Emperor afterwards
they said he's dead.
To the Rastafarians.
But he is risen now.
The Emperor afterwards presented gold medallions to the Rastafarians.
Now he cometh to make up his jewels.
Gold medallions to the Rastafarians.
The black king of the Jews. Holy Emmanuel, Selassie, Jah, Rastafari. From the shekelscape of our feet. In 1834, 20 million pounds sterling was laid down, granted to send us home. Nothing has been done. This must be fulfilled now. Black people, what are you out there for? Black people, what has happened to you? You cannot stop God. For God coming this time mightily to destroy all evil. I am not talking and I am not telling you about the Chinese, the Indians, or the Syrian, for only you are destroying yourselves and making the white men drop out your belly. They say you are having too much children. You are having too much picnic. And birth control cannot stop it. Therefore, they will drop out your belly. They will drop out your balls, black man. Africa is calling you home. Africa is waiting for you. Return to your own vine and fig tree. Honourable Marcus Garvey said 7 or 9 miles of Black Star liner, high water ships to take us home. Marcus Garvey, I ever live it. I Prince Edward ever live it. The King of Kings, Haile Selassie, I ever live it. Mighty to redeem the might and power of the Holy Trinity. Holy Emmanuel, Selassie, Jah, Rastafari. Holy King Emmanuel 7. Down here, God, Jah, Rastafari. I am the most right honourable Prince Emmanuel Charles Edwards, the Lord's servant, the Black Christ in flesh, the crown champion of human rights, the Black Secretary General of the Black United Nation, President of the EABIC, representative of the United Nations worldwide, crown champion, INRI, I Negus Rule Israelites, PS. In 1948-49 I went to the Brigadier General at Upper Camp. On the topic of freedom, redemption, international repatriation for I, Prince Edward, and my people, the Brigadier ran out of his office, leaving me there which marked the downfall of Britain crowned head. I, Prince Edwards, was in charge of all black people. I, Prince Edward, was in charge of all small islands. Britain crowned head fell. I, Prince Edward, charge all people of the world for the delaying of freedom, redemption, international repatriation. I call upon black people from Ethiopia to the four winds of earth to come together in one accord and speak for your freedom, redemption, international repatriation. I, Prince Edward, unveiled my banners on June 6, 1950 at the House of Representatives, closing it down for 3 days straight. These emblems was also raised at King's House in 1950. The Deputy Prime Minister, Mr. Hugh Shearer, knows about this. He was present at King's House. So the Most High, Selassie, Jah, Rastafari. We do give thanks to the Most Right Honourable King Emmanuel Charles Edwards again for such mission. So definitely the Father said, you know, the voice of the people is the voice of God. So the voice of the people is needed in this time, in one accord. We must know what we want. We must know what we are out there for. As Marcus Mosiah Garvey said, any business that you are doing and it's not going to land on the shores of Africa, don't do it. You're only wasting your time. Youth man, I call upon you because you are strong. Elders, you know the way. Elders, you know me of old, said the mighty I am. Definitely, we'll be having the human rights articles that will be coming up. They're on the board. We do give thanks for the reparatory documents that are coming up. Because definitely the Most Right Honourable King Emmanuel Charles Edwards is a man who is the architect, the man who is a builder of the repatriation mission. This man has everything worked out. So there's no time to linger, black people. Come and join the army of Rastafari. All those who want to go home and work toward development of Mother Africa. That's who the Congress is calling for within this time. Man and woman of a right. Marcus Mosiah Garvey said, where can we find man of purpose that will stick to that purpose because of the principles? So we do give thanks to life, health and strength, revive thy works, O Lord. We give thanks to Emperor Selassie mission, 1960 and 6. Remember the most right Honourable King Emmanuel Charles Edward did say it was in 1966. Remember, you know, reading that pamphlet, you know, it was 1966 that Emperor Haile Selassie I personally purchased 54B Spanish Town Road for him. And they came and burned it down, and they know all of these things. They have violated human rights. The Jamaica government is a fraud government. It is a puppet government. Minister Andrew Holness and his cabinet must deal with the matter that is on their desk at this time. The Governor General must deal with the matter that is on their desk in this time. Stop killing God's children. Stop destroying God's children. It is a warning. Stop destroying God's children. Black people, stop destroying yourselves. Youths in Jamaica and the Western world, wake up and stop killing yourself. Love yourself, because God is inside of you. The voice of the people is the voice of God. God is the voice of the people. Give thanks to life. Mission of the King, going through the ends of the earth.
The mission.
Mission of the King. Yeah.
The mission.
Mission.
The mission of the King.
Mission of the
Mission
King.
of the King is the humble be fed, naked clothed, sick nourished, age protected. You know?
The mission. Free water.
Mission there.
Mission of the King, you know.
The mission. The mission. The mission.
So King Emmanuel's mission continues.